the subject of communication.
Yes, sir.
How the Fed communicates.
Right.
The statement, the minutes, interviews like this. Yeah. You're in charge now. You've been asked to look at the whole question of communication.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How are you going to do it?
Well, we have a subcommittee to do that. Ultimately, that will be a decision by the full committee. We're beginning those conversations now. There are various elements to communication. Obviously, the statements that we issue after every meeting. Chair Powell's now doing 8 press conferences a year. So we have a number of avenues to communicate, and we're looking at the way that those could be refined and work together.
Can I just read you?
Oh, wow.
From the Fed transcripts of 2003, one of your predecessors,
Yeah.
Vice Chairman McDonough, talking about the press statement.
Wow.
The idea is to have the possibility, but not the certainty of a move. Otherwise, the market will be waiting every morning for us to have a meeting. Nothing's changed.
So, you know, the old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. The very, very prescient comment from Bill McDonough there.
But he's right. I mean, what can you do? Because if you say to me, we're thinking of moving, I'll say to you, when? If you say, oh, maybe next week, oh, are you sure Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday?
Right. And of course, and I think what you're pointing to here is the fact that we want to be transparent. We want to convey to the public the way that we're thinking. The reality, though, Richard, is that at different points in the economic cycle, there are different amounts of information that you can provide. And I think that what we want to recognize is that there's not a one-size-fits-all model for Fed communication.
You had a dinner with the president along with the chair.
I did.
Did he put pressure in the sense?
Well, what I will say about this is it was an enjoyable dinner. We basically talked about the economic outlook and the global outlook. We didn't really get into monetary policy beyond what the chair had said in the January statement.
Your immediate predecessor, Stan Fisher, said on the same program that you use to be on Crestby's Business, and he said that you never really know if pressure's being effective, because you're never really sure whether someone in the meeting hasn't been in any way affected by a strong statement from he is, after all, the president.
Well, let me just say this very clearly and without any equivocation. We have a very simple mandate given to us by the Congress. It's a dual mandate. Our job is to use our tools to achieve maximum employment and price stability. That is the only thing that motivates me and my colleagues. We have a process here. It's not just us. We have Reserve Bank presidents, and I can tell you, I don't feel the pressure. The only pressure I feel is to do the best job we can to keep the economy at full employment and price stability.
Finally, coming back to this question, if you were sitting on the set with me all those months ago in your previous life.
Oh, yeah.
Up
in Columbus Circle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lovely part of the city.
I would have asked you, Mr. Clarida, should the Fed move? Is it time for the Fed to move? Is the Fed policy right? Well, that was then.
Yeah.
If I now ask you the same question, should the Fed move? Is the policy right? Would your answer be that much different?
What I'm saying to you right now in February of 2019 is I think monetary policy is in a very good place. The economy's in a good place. It's appropriate now, and we can afford to be patient to decide on the next adjustment. And that's, I think, what I would say on your set.
We'll never know.
Well, I wouldn't say we, I would say they.
They. Which brings me neatly to the we, from the they to the we.
Yeah.
As somebody who has spent their entire professional career, even though you've been in government and you've been in administration, but analysing what this building does.
Yeah.
How different was it going from they to we?
Here's the way I would put it. As an academic and a Fed watcher, I had the luxury of just focusing on one piece, an important piece of what the Fed does, which is to decide to move interest rates up or down. Once you get inside the building, you realize the complexity and the interaction among many things the Fed does. It has a big role in financial regulation supervision. It has a big role, if you will, in the plumbing of the financial system. And what I realized is that all of these interact and impinge on one another. And I had not appreciated that before I got in the building.
And the first time you sit in the boardroom and cast a vote. Come on. This is something that you have written about, studied, commentated on, and now certainly, I'm not sure whether it's gamekeeper turned poacher or poacher turned gamekeeper. I don't know which is appropriate.
Well, it was, you know, it was a very humbling and exciting moment. Absolutely, it's something I take very seriously, and it's an honor and a privilege to have been selected and to be able to do this. So I don't take it for granted any day.
Vice Chair, thank you.
Thank you.